Hello, Dark Watchers and player characters, and welcome to this special series of Pact Tactics, where today we're going to be meeting one of our outstanding players for the show. I am, once again, your DM Jon, and if you're interested in our little game or our characters, we stream every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, and if you like what you see and you want to see a little bit more, give us a like and a subscribe to help us in the boss battle against the dreaded YouTube algorithm, and ring that notification bell so that you don't miss your spot in initiative. But today, I'm very excited to introduce our resident tech wizard, Ray. Hello, Ray.
Hi, everybody.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to all of our fans out there?
All right. Hi, I'm Raven Hickey. I've been doing D&D for 4 or 5 years now. Started out with somebody you'll meet later, Brian. He was my first DM, and now we get to play together. It's been a few years, but started out complete newbie, tabletop, and now I ventured into the world of online streaming and all the background craziness that goes with it.
Yes, for all those interested folks out there, Ray is actually the wizard that puts this all together so that we can stream live, so you can watch these games as we explore with them. So that's a really big thank you, because that's a whole lot of work that I don't particularly understand. Now, Ray and I, we've been playing together in various games for about a year, and he was the DM for our first stream together, the Nerds Next Door stream that recently ended, and we've built Pact Tactics together.
Yep, it's pretty fun to see a vision, sadly watch it end, and then move on to the next cool thing, and do it with a bunch of your friends.
Yeah, one door closes and a window opens, or something like that.
Yeah.
Good way to get drafty, but I kid. I'm actually really glad that we were able to take and build things up together from the fresh, because, you know, a lot of people, whenever they do things, they always look back and they say, oh, if I could start again, well, then I'd do this. We were presented that exact opportunity. And so that's how we're able to build this and provide the product and the show and the game that we're doing now. And I think it's a lot of fun. I think things run a whole lot smoother with the tweaks that we've, well, you mostly have implemented. But
yeah.
On to what we're doing here today. Let's introduce us. Who are you going to be playing in our Mythic Ethris game?
I am playing Jameson Percival Barlow, or he goes by James normally, but he is the party's ranger, and I decided to go with the Monster Slayer background. That's from, you know, your stock 5e. Well, not necessarily stock, but
it's not Santa stock, because that's pretty accepted.
Yeah. As far as fun things inside of Grim Hollow, he works as a beast hunter, so hunting down like wolves, bears, those kinds of things. But where he really gets going is he's a former inquisitor, so he likes to hunt down, you know, the vampires and evil arcanists, and bring them the verdict in the form of his maul.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see this sort of melee-based ranger with just a little bit of range. And, you know, out of all the subclasses in Xanathars, I'd venture to say that Monster Hunter is the one that gets picked the least, which is kind of a shame, because they get a really good mechanical benefit for the subclass, but the role play benefits of just being able to look at the DM and saying, hey, I'm a monster hunter, what do I know? And me being able to give you things such as, oh, well, it has a weakness to this, or it has that or this. I mean, in any game, that's an incredibly useful ability that gets overlooked, but especially in a game in Ethris, a grimdark, you know, hardcore kind of D&D game, I think it's going to be invaluable and very well may prove the defining line between survival and defeat for the party more than once. So I was very happy to see Monster Hunter ranger be your choice?
Like a non-spellcaster, kind of a fighter or barbarian or something like that. One of the reasons I did pick this was one of those mechanics you were talking about. It's favored foe, and it essentially is like your favorite enemy from regular ranger, but you get to make it that one that you're fighting in the moment, instead of just, oh, it's just undead, or it's, oh, it's just aberrations or something like that. So it adds a layer to the mechanic, extra damage to everything as long as I mark it.
Right. Yes, I definitely like that a lot. So why don't you go ahead and tell us what inspired you to play this character? Where did you conjure it up out of?
So I conjured it really quickly because we were talking about, like, hey, when we finally decided to let Nerds Next Door go, we were decided, like, what do we want to do next? We want to keep playing. We want to keep streaming. And you bounced out the idea of Grim Hollow, and you gave us a quick description of it. And the first thing that came to my mind was, this is a Van Helsing movie. And I was like, I gotta play Van Helsing.
There you go.
And the more I dove into the campaign guide and the player's handbook that Ghostfire put out, and I saw Inquisitor, and that just tripped like Judge Dredd, older and newer for those being picky. So I'm trying to combine Judge Dredd and Van Helsing together into one Mr. J.P. Barlow.
And one thing that I think is very interesting about J.P. Barlow is whenever we were creating the character, and for all of you interested in how we created our character, I'll be talking about that in this video that we'll be posting soon. But when we were creating our character, you actually ended up rolling that you got something really interesting. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So one of the roles we got, I received a blessing from the Lady of Fire, which John did talk about in one of our lore videos, and she gifted me a dragon rifle that comes with the unbreakable stat, but it also looks fragile and broken and like it got dragged behind a pickup truck down a rocky road.
Yeah. So we ended up, he rolled that he got an item, a weapon, and it had the descriptions and stats found in the beginning of the magic item section in Dungeon Master Guide. So when we were building all these characters out, he rolled it right then and there. And that's the two things he got: is it's unbreakable. It always looks like it's broken. And it was a gift from the elemental, the Lady of Flames, Marrakesh. So it's fire-based, and it's this, I mean, you've got a maul and you've got a really cool shotgun, and you're purging undead and monsters from the world. I mean, I love this character concept. And I really like, do you want to talk about the race a little bit? Because the Dreamers, I thought it was a great choice, and it was an excellent, it was an excellent thing that Grim Hollow put out in their books.
Yeah. So I was reading through, and I definitely wanted to pick a race from Grim Hollow, and I wanted to do something a little different. And I came across Dreamer. Their lore is pretty cool, but one of their natural born abilities is whenever a Dreamer goes to sleep, they can enter the dreams of anyone like in a mile radius of them.
Yeah.
And that just like triggered all kinds of, just imagine an Inquisitor that could enter your dreams of the person he's hunting, and you don't get a moment of respite because he's always there.
It's kind of like they did one episode of Black Mirror that was kind of like that, if anybody's ever watched that crazy show. But that they would go inside your mind whenever they're trying to get you to confess to a crime. So I think that's a really nice touch.
Yeah. And you can go on the run. I'm on your trail, and if you go to sleep, I'm there too.
I'm gonna find you. You cannot escape. You can't get away from me. So, if James Barlow could send a sending spell to all of our dark watchers out there who are viewing this, about 25 words, what do you think he would say?
I think he would say, I think that it is a pleasure to have those watching the world be cleansed of its heresy. And if you're not careful, I'll find you too.
Awesome. Yep. All right. Well, do you have anything that you'd like to say before we go ahead and call this, bring this to an end?
No. Just remember, I am learning the stream stuff, so it will get better with time. If you have any comments or suggestions, I'd be more than glad to hear it. So, you can direct message our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook, YouTube, leave a comment, and one of us will see it, and it'll get to me somehow. And if it's something I can implement to make everything better, your viewing experience better, I will gladly do it.
Absolutely. That's a great point that I'm glad that you brought up is, we're not professional voice actors. We're not, writers or authors, at least I'm not. We're just friends getting together, broadcasting a game, and hopefully some people out there like to watch it too. So any advice is very welcome. But with that, thank you for taking a few minutes to talk with us, Ray. And for all of you Dark Watchers and player characters watching this, thank you for joining us. Once again, I am your DM Jon. If you enjoyed what you saw, you want to see a little bit more, like and subscribe. We stream every Tuesday, starting this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, where Ray and the rest of the players will be exploring Etheris, the world of Grim Hollow, presented by Ghostfire Gaming. And until then, everybody, go ahead and stay spooky.